Okay, so what's going on, Kennedy? What do you got to talk about, man?
Well, let's see. Let's get right into this. Here's a motion for a narrowly purposed hearing. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yep. Copy that.
Okay. Comes now. Kennedy Walker, the defendant in the above captioned case, appearing pro se, and respectfully moves this honorable court to grant a narrowly purposed hearing to address specific preliminary matters. In support of this motion, the defendant states as follows. Purpose of hearing. Defendant seeks a narrowly focused hearing to address specific issues regarding the prosecution's obligation to produce discovery material requested by the defendant. This hearing is necessary to ensure compliance with the defendant's discovery requests and to address any preliminary matters that can be resolved expediently. Requested discovery. On 7/17/24 at 1 p.m., the defendant served a request for discovery upon the prosecution in this case, seeking all evidence related to the alleged offenses, including but not limited to witness statements, police reports, and any other relevant documentation. On July 29th at approximately 2:30, the defendant again requested the discovery from the prosecution by email to the district attorney's office, yet the requested materials have still not been provided. Prosecution's response despite the defendant's request, the prosecution has either failed to produce the requested discovery materials or provided incomplete or insufficient responses. The defendant has made multiple attempts to follow up with the prosecution to obtain the required materials. Legal basis. Under Oregon law and the applicable rules of criminal procedure, the prosecution is required to provide discovery to the defendant in a timely manner. The defendant's request for discovery is made pursuant to due process, which mandates that the prosecution provide all relevant evidence and information to the defendant. Equal protection violation. The prosecution has conditioned the provisions of discovery on the defendant's payment, which constitutes a violation of the 14th Amendment Equal Protection Clause. The defendant has requested that the discovery be provided by email to avoid any costs associated with physical materials. The prosecution has informed the defendant that payment would not be required if the defendant were represented by counsel, thereby imposing an extra hurdle on the defendant as a pro se litigant and violating the principle of equal protection under the law. Physical inability to attend. The defendant is currently physically unable to attend the hearing in person. Therefore, the defendant respectfully requests that this hearing be conducted via phone or internet to accommodate this limitation. While the defendant will make every effort to attend all hearings in person, the option to participate via phone or internet is requested. Unreasonable pending court date. The defendant seeks to address the pending court date and its unreasonableness. The current schedule does not allow adequate time for the defendant to prepare a defense given the delays in receiving necessary discovery materials. The defendant requests a reconsideration of the court date to ensure fairness and due process. Future considerations. The defendant will be filing a comprehensive motions request and does not want the court to initiate it. Should the discovery reveal substantial evidence or issues requiring further examination, the defendant will request that the court schedule a comprehensive motions hearing in writing. I will request in writing, is what I'm saying, to address these matters in detail based on the defendant's filings. See, because, you don't want to have to come up with your points while you're sitting in court, like, stressed out or whatever, right? You just want it all in writing so that, and then you want to get it to the court so they can look at it, maybe look up a law or some damn thing, right?
Maybe
This
do
is,
their jobs instead of just being criminals.
yeah,
Like,
they've taken oaths to uphold and defend our laws. And yet, every time you talk about a law, they're like, oh, no, 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 no. No, no, no. We got a policy instead.
fuck a policy. We don't rule by policy. We rule with laws.
Well, we've got a state law then that it just, yeah, sure, you have a freedom of press, but just not here. It's not reasonable here because, if you show what's going on here, then, you know, people will
Yeah,
know.
people might get riled up.
People will know what's going on here. Essentially.
Yeah, we don't want to. We don't want you to see the crimes that we're committing because we're socialists.
Right.
And it's been a while, so maybe it's time to do Civics 101 again. The Supreme Court, and I'm doing this all from memory. The Supreme Court makes rulings, decisions, and opinions. They don't make law. Okay, the legislature, which is Congress, state Congress, national Congress, and state Senate and national Senate,
And city legislatures too.
or city legislatures
Councils.
or whatever. Right, councils.
Any-
They make laws, right? The judicial or the executive branch, which is the president, the governor, the mayor, whatever.
The cops.
They make policies for their employees, not for us. They cannot make policies for us. That is the law. Everybody seems to think, that the Supreme Court tells us how to live, and that's just not true. The Supreme Court basically just influences lawmakers. They don't make
what
laws.
it is they're bound to our laws. They don't have any right to legislate from the bench, is what it's called, when you're
Right.
trying to just create a law from the bench.
Yeah.
Because
they can't.
Here's the whole
can't do
problem
that.
with that is that, guys, as soon as it's a cop on the stand for murder, he's getting off, and you're gonna be found guilty even if it's self-defense or something. So, which one's the law? What they did to the cop? Oh, of course not. Well,
No, that's that's
just-
criminals. Criminals protecting criminals.
the socialist is just against all Americans. So this stuff is only to be used against you. That's why you've seen in my videos countless times that I place someone lawfully under a citizen's arrest for a specific crime, and that the oath takers are in the area. I mean, what's the only thing they're not going to honor? It's their
oath.
It's their
Yeah.
oath. That's the only thing they're not going to honor. They will do anything except for that. So let's get through this real quick. Certificate of service. This is a suggestion that I followed from ChatGPT to get it to multiple parties and to document who it's going to and when. Okay. So they have a problem with me sending this by email to this jury email address. This woman was wearing I think a black shirt in my jury duty video. Her name is in the video. I forget. Anyways, so they refuse to take it by email, which is bullshit because I haven't been able to walk. I've left the house one time in the last 2 weeks. My swelling was down and stuff and everything. So anyways, so they're just creating these hurdles for what purpose? I could show you that email, but essentially they're just saying you need to send it by mail, or you need to sign into some website, which they want your billing address so that they can, or your billing information so that they can just bill your card and pretend like it's legitimate. Now, I have a problem with giving any money to these people because I don't want to be seen as giving aid and comfort to the enemy.
Right, and you've already paid them anyway. Yeah, you've already paid them unwillingly.
Yeah, to attack me, to be at war with me. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Totally nonsense. And then anytime you need anything from them, they say, oh, no, you need to send it by mail. It has to have a postmark or something. It's so stupid. Bro, we have internet. It has sign-in information, and it has, checks on your identity. It has, IP addresses, and it has, timestamps and stuff. There's no problem with email, but they want to make it a problem. Why? Because they want to insist that they don't work for us. So why am I paying these people's bills exactly?
Right.
Makes no sense. Okay, so
it's like feeding a dog that doesn't ever bark when it needs to bark. You know what I mean? It's like feeding a dog that doesn't do its job. It's like feeding a chicken. It's like taking care of a chicken that doesn't lay eggs. What's the fucking point?
right.
You want to take that chicken and make it soup, man. If it's not laying eggs, it's time to become stew, motherfucker.
Or yeah, unless you got a different purpose for it. Certainly it's dude, we pay you to do this, which, bro, what is that? When we pay these two people, we pay their homes, and now they're soldiers against us. We pay their rent So we're quartering these enemy troops.
That's a Third Amendment violation.
It's a Third Amendment violation.
That's posse comitatus, right?
Oh, what is that? I don't like Latin.
Posse.
But
Yeah. Yeah, it means basically enemy troops
okay.
quartered on enemy territory, or quartered on the enemy's land, or
All right.
quartering the enemies on your land. Posse comitatus.
Yeah, that sounds right. Sounds good.
I'll have to look at. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to look it up because I hate sounding stupid.
Well, dude, the thing about Latin is that they're trying to obfuscate. Obviously, man, this is an English-speaking country, so speak English and say what the fuck you mean. If it's so great, just say what you mean, you know?
Yeah, posse comitatus literally means power of the county, so I was completely wrong, see? Posse comitatus describes a... Okay, so this is a lie. Posse comitatus describes a group of citizens who are called upon to assist a sheriff in keeping the peace, to conduct a rescue, or to apprehend a criminal.
Oh, it's a posse.
Okay, so... Right, so that's not the Third Amendment.
No.
That's completely fucking different.
No, but we do know that quartering of... What is it? How does it say it? Quartering of soldiers... What?
Yeah, no soldier shall in time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner prescribed by law.
Okay, so now they're saying, but by consent of the owner. But who's the owner? We are all paying their rent.
That's right. That's right.
So to me, if I have an objection to paying their rent, I mean, guys, it's like 30% of the workforce. And it's these jobs that people consider legitimate. Oh my gosh. Judges, lawyers, and doctors, that's what these people cite as legitimate. Holy crap. I have no time for any of them.
No, the people that matter are the people who build things.
Yeah.
You're right, carpenters, electricians, bricklayers.
Or you know, service logisticians, where they're you know,
delivering goods,
expediting meals, or they're delivery goods, certainly shipping, transportation service. There's tons of legitimate jobs, but what's not legitimate is when we're paying for it and we don't like the results. That becomes not legitimate.
Yeah, that becomes a problem because, you know, we're in a society that is theoretically capitalistic. However, Jeff makes a good point. The injustice system has become totally useless to the people. Not only has it become useless, Jeff, it's become antithetical of American as a definition. All these just us people are the fucking enemy, man. And Kennedy's making a legit point. Why are we paying their bills if we're not happy with the service that we're getting, or
we're quartering them?
Right. Well, look, they prove. Listen, the only time I've ever had to deal with bureaucrats that it actually worked was with the city planning in Columbus. Okay, but they're not really doing anything either. They're like, all you got to do is just draw a picture. It doesn't have to be a blueprint or nothing of what you're building. Just draw us a picture. What the hell is that? That's not, but I never got any, combative, attitudes from those people. But, a combatant is combative, even if it's just by refusing to do their jobs or refusing to obey the law. They are literally combative. They're combatants. There's no doubt about it. They're combatants.
Well, sorry, I didn't share my screen on that whole document, but
that's all right. I didn't want to. Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you while you were going, so I just let you go.
Yeah, sorry about that. You should have interrupted. Got it on the record. It'll
good.
be on my channel, which. All right. So basically, what I'm saying with this document here is that I want a narrowly purposed motions hearing. a hearing to discuss the motions, specifically just motion to compel the prosecution to produce discovery. What are we at here? It's we're coming up on a month since I've requested it. A month. And they don't have the discovery to me.
Well, man,
we have a court date coming up in like 1 month. Which,
right.
Since they don't accept these documents, I could show you that email, but I'll just tell you what it says. We're not taking anything through the email. So you need to go ahead and either send it to this address, which is, the address of the building she's in right now.
Right.
Or sign up for this crap, which you get into that, and it's like, we want your billing card number and stuff. Oh, what?
Before you could even submit it electronically, they want your billing.
Dude, I'm not trying to pay you at all. You're like, no, it's a foregone conclusion. You're going to pay us because we're attacking you. We don't even have a complainant. Which they sent me a list of witnesses that they're going to put on the stand. So stupid.
Yeah, witnesses of what? What did they witness?
I don't have a complainant. No matter how many witnesses they come up with, there is no complainant for these crimes.
Right, and they're not going to have any evidence unless they're going to try to charge you with a thought crime. I don't see how they even have a case, man. This is retaliatory, bro. This is retaliatory.
This is my government attacking me. And then they went around and enlisted people that are brainwashed to go along with it. Probably that fucking traitor that was shaking the hand of that pig is one of them. Woodrow Wilson, a fucking traitor.
He commits perjury
Norwood. On his. Terry Ann Finnerty, that's one of the females at the beginning. Which, bro, you're participating in the drug war. You're not a complainant. You're not an injured victim. You're participating in a war against me that is religious based. That's terrorism.
Yep, by their definitions.
You're not a victim. Did this woman call 911? We're going to find out. Is that misuse of an emergency line when you call up and say, I want this guy bothered?
Absolutely.
I want you to come and bother this guy and make him leave the park because I own the park now because I have a permit.
Yeah. I as far as I'm concerned, all these charges are frivolous and retaliatory, man. They've got no fucking case. They've got no fucking evidence. All they got is hearsay. Hearsay isn't good enough.
Well, this evidence, so the state law is null and void because it violates First Amendment freedom of religion. Right to assemble. I used a state law to arrest these men for disrupting my business. They collaborated against my rights. It's a federal crime.
It's a 242.
And then there's this accusation that I have a possession. So possession. What the fuck are you, bro? The law is ridiculous. I should read it to you. I don't have it handy. I can't. I'm not very mobile right now, but
they can't say that. They can't charge you for saying I want to sell magic mushrooms. That's all you did was say I want to sell magic mushrooms here. That's all. That's not a drug crime.
I didn't say that.
That's freedom of speech, man. It's freedom of association. It's freedom of speech.
I didn't say that to the cops though. So
right, you never said
it
to the cops.
Said to anyone else, it's
hearsay.
Totally irrelevant. It's totally irrelevant. They have no idea how I'm gonna sell these magic mushrooms. They have no idea. They have no toxicology report of these magic mushrooms of yours. So how is that gonna match your law if you don't have a report saying this is what we're talking about? And then somebody swore saying that I had magic I have a possession charge. So that means
But they
somebody
never-
swore under penalty of perjury that I possessed mushrooms, and
They're going to have to prove it, and they can't prove it because they don't have any evidence. What evidence
Yeah.
did they have? Your video never shows you pulling out a bag of mushrooms and holding it up. I want to sell
it
these.
wouldn't matter if it did, because you don't know what it is. You still
Right.
don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, somebody swore an oath.
So somebody broke the law just
Psilocybin.
by swearing again. They broke it, making that statement because they didn't know.
Yeah. That's perjury. Someone's guilty of perjury now because they swore to get this warrant. And then it wasn't an injured complainant, it was the state. So guess what? If that guy didn't go to that job that morning, then what? I didn't commit a crime?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So the state is charging me. The state is trying to be the complainant. The injured
And they
victim.
can't.
And they're not,
Yeah.
first off, they're not injured. Second off, they don't have a face.
They don't exist.
We
They
need
don't
to-
exist.
Exactly. It's a corporation. They don't exist. We need a face in our Sixth Amendment to face our accuser. The person accusing me of a crime. To them. Not just your religious ideology. Oh, well, my religiousness is that you don't have anything. Anything. We've got lists of them, and they don't even make sense. We should go through that law. It's fucking ridiculous. It makes no sense. But that's going to be in the comprehensive motions. Just that, first off, your law is null and void because it violates my First Amendment freedom of religion. I can practice my religious beliefs however the hell I want. It's none of your fucking business. These people at the park are like, he believes in different things than me. That means I need the government here to attack him. Bro, these people are fucking vermin. They're vermin.
Yeah, no doubt.
These people are everywhere. Everywhere. And it's because they're all being raised by the same person, a nutcase, the socialist.
The state. Yeah, the state. The state has convinced everybody it's got to be this way or the other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, look, man. Here's the deal with
See my kitty?
their case. They have no fucking case against you
See my
because
kitty?
your video. Hey, kitty.
She's totally crazy. She's just as likely to attack me right now as be cool. She is totally
Yeah.
crazy. I'll be right back,
Well,
though.
all right, man. All right.
Go ahead and talk.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so right, like I was waiting on jury duty, right, and a week ago tomorrow, right, I get a notification from the county saying that it's delayed or whatever, and you'll get an update tomorrow. And they did that 3 times, and then they went ahead and canceled the jury duty. So. I understand people get continuances and then they make a plea or whatever, and then they can't find anything quick enough to put on the docket or whatever. But if I was a person who had a regular job and then I got to take time off for jury duty and I lose 3 days worth of 3 days of the week of my paycheck and don't get any compensation for waiting on them to get their shit together, it's just wrong, man. Right? It's just wrong. If I gotta set aside my time until you tell me I don't have to come or I do have to come, then guess what? You got to pay me for that because I have to be ready to go. Tomorrow. When they said on Friday there'll be an update on Monday. Monday I have to take off work, and then Monday they say, well, we'll let you know tomorrow. So I got to take another day off, and then I got to take another day off. Right? Waiting on these socialists to get their shit together so they can fuck another citizen in court. It's crazy. Yeah, exactly. Time is money. What I wanted to say about Kennedy's case is this. It's very simple. The video itself is exculpatory because he never produces any mushrooms. Never does he produce any mushrooms. Nobody ever sees it. All he does is talk about the mushrooms. Okay? And there's no law that says if you say that you want to sell drugs, that's possession. And if it's possession and you're talking about, kilos, then maybe it's trafficking with no evidence whatsoever. How fucking insane is that? Is this America or is it China? Where the fuck are we living, you guys? Where the fuck are we living? But this is all retaliatory, and it's insanity because Kennedy's footage completely exonerates him of any of that stuff because the cops never sees anything. He never holds up a baggie full of whatever. He just says, "Can I sell mushrooms here? Why can't I? How much does it cost?" The cops said something later on about where's your license for selling mushrooms, but if you're talking about selling a thing that you don't have a license for, but nobody can ever actually prove that you had it, how is that a crime? You never tried to sell, let's say Kennedy was wanting to sell whole milk, raw milk at the farmer's market. And then later but he never produces it and he doesn't have here we go. Yeah, exactly. It's all hearsay. Because Kennedy is I don't believe he did. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether whatever he's talking about selling is illegal or not. Talking about it, unless you're trying to make a sale to somebody, right? Like directly. I want to sell you this. Hey, I got this for sale. And then you show it to them or whatever, like drug dealers do. They got nothing. He didn't do that. He didn't say, "You want to buy some mushrooms?" He didn't say that. He did not ever say that. Even if it's illegal, which it's not because it's First Amendment protected activity, whether, anybody wants to believe that or not, it is, because that's a fact. But his culpability goes away because they never listen, in order to have possession, they have to have something that you possessed. Possession means that you have it on your person. And they never prove, they can't prove that because they didn't seize anything. They seized nothing except Kennedy's body. Okay? Okay, the definition of possession is the state of having, owning, or controlling something. Now, in order for them to prove possession, they have to get a warrant, and then they got to seize whatever is in your possession. Okay? Whatever they seen, whatever they saw and were able to identify as such. But they never can do that in Kennedy's case because it just doesn't happen, man. Yeah. I don't know, man. Listen, these are socialist sympathizers. They're simps. SIMP is different from being sympathetic. Being sympathetic is not a bad thing mostly, but being a simp is like being a gimp for somebody. You got a chain around your neck. You'll do and say what a lick spittle, an ass kisser, a bootlicker, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, you got another great point, man. No, there's no evidence of that there were ever any mushrooms. No evidence at all. None. No evidence that he had mushrooms at all. None. He could have had a bag full of portobellos. She assumed he was talking about psilocybin. And he might have acquiesced to that, but so what? It's not like he pulled out a bag of them or that the cops ever searched him. They don't know. They don't have any evidence. This whole thing is fucking retaliatory, and it's all hearsay. It's all hearsay. It cannot be anything but hearsay. I've watched the video many, many times, man. And the part that I love is when what's it like when he says, what's it like being so stupid you have to work for me? That's the greatest, man, because those cops really are fucking stupid in that particular instance. They are really stupid. Like the guy says, "Oh, there's no disturbing 3 or whatever," and then Kennedy pops up on the screen, disturbing the peace, or whatever it is. Oh my God, man. Jesus. There's no such thing. And then Kennedy, it pops up on the screen. Hilarious. Yeah, it was golden. That's exactly right, Jeff. That shit was golden. Golden. But he's a sharp character, man. If there's the sharpest knife in the block, it's Kennedy, or he's right next to it, man. He's pretty sharp. I wish I was as sharp as he is. After the fact, I think about what I could have said or whatever, but he's focused when he's doing this shit, man. And what's it like being so dumb you got to work for me? What's that like? Fucking great, man. Yeah, it is. It's audit gold. Audit gold, man. Audit gold. and those cops, any cop, you say citizens arrest, they say, I'd like to see you try. Well, I don't have to touch you to arrest you. Being arrested doesn't mean that I got to grab you and throw you on the ground and punch you in the kidneys and squeeze your nuts or all the other things that these pigs do to people that they pulled over for a blinker violation or because they weren't wearing their seatbelt or whatever and they end up in the fucking hospital. It's the farmer's market thing is pretty well documented from Kennedy's side.
Hey, Doc.
And the cops never took anything. They didn't arrest him. They didn't search him. They didn't even get his fucking ID. I mean, they know who he is because he's local and he's vocal. Local and vocal will get you fucking noticed, but maybe I'm wrong about that. No, I'm not wrong about that. Anyway, here's the invite. If any of you guys that are listening want to come in here and shoot your mouth off, here it comes. Bada bing. There you go. Yeah, I've been gone for a minute. Life is a problem. Life can be a problem, especially for those of us that are not particularly liquid at the moment. The steering rack went out of my car. That took up a big chunk of what I had, but I replaced it myself. But it took a minute, and yeah, yep. I had a little house fire. That was unpleasant. Yeah, the whole steering rack thing. Yeah, anybody who wants to come up, come up. If you got something to say, don't come up here and go. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, they got a warrant after the fact with zero evidence. That's correct. They got a warrant on hearsay. And I guarantee you that the pigs that were there at the scene at the farmer's market, they talked people into making those statements or to signing those statements. You know what I mean? Because they were obviously, collaborating with that woman that was running the stand, because that one pig was over there talking to her for like 15 minutes. So, do we respect every idea? Are you out of your mind? Respect every idea. Do I respect the idea that Jews are inferior and they should be burned up in concentration camps? That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from your avatar, man. That's kind of a schwazi looking thing, man. Yeah, come on up here and talk some nonsense. Come on. Man, look, I cannot respect every idea, okay? Because some people have an idea that you can stick a piece of copper in the ground and it'll change the atmosphere. I don't respect that idea because I know it's fucking nonsense. It's fucking nonsense. Okay, there's nonsense, and then there's legitimate, and then there's debatable, and then there's theoretical, and there's probably several more that I'm missing. There's philosophical and religious and whatever. I mean, you can. Your question brought up the hostile in me. So now I really kind of want you to come on here and talk because, yeah, man, do you respect every idea? That's nonsense. That is fucking nonsense, bro. I'm sorry. It's just nonsense. You cannot respect every idea. You can't. You cannot respect every idea. Okay, they have an idea in North Korea that it's okay to eat dogs, and they do it as a cultural thing. Who said anything about me limiting speech? No one said anything about that. You asked you asked a question. Man, you know what? Come on here or get the fuck off my channel, because you asked a combative question. Do you respect every idea? No logical, sane thinking person can say, yes, I respect every idea. No, I don't respect every idea. Does it have anything to do with listening to it or allowing somebody to say it? No. But this ain't, look, man, either you got something to say or you don't. If you don't have anything to say, then get the fuck out of my channel. And he says, okay, bye. But he's still sitting here and he's still listening. Get the fuck out of my channel, man. Seriously. You're wasting my fucking time here. Okay, so I'm done with that. Okay, bye. Get the fuck out of here. See you later. Stoned Vag. Stoned Vag and a Nazi-looking emblem as his avatar. And he's asking me if I respect every idea. Man, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, I don't get it. A sword and a skull, man. It looks pretty Nazi to me. Am I wrong, guys? I mean, it seems pretty goddamn Nazi to me. Anyway, yeah, so just life happened. I live way out in the middle of fucking nowhere because I really, I spent my time in the city, and I can't even stand to go back for, more than a day because it's just so fucking awful. Kennedy, are you back, man? Nope, apparently he's not. Yeah, it's just, I got to a point in my life where I couldn't live in the city anymore. The noise, the smell, the grit in the air. It's all, living in a city is just bad for you. And I'm not saying move out to the country, because if everybody moves from the city out to the country, it won't be the country anymore. So you stay living in that shitty city. I'll stay out here in the middle of nowhere eating berries and nuts and shooting meat when it comes around. That's about where I'm at. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot more, you guys, unless Stoned Vag wants to grow some balls and come on here and have a word. I'm thinking about wrapping it up. But yeah, this is the thing about Kennedy's case, man. Yeah, they got a warrant after the fact with zero evidence. That makes it retaliatory, and it creates a 242 right there involving the prosecutor or the judge, whoever, the cop that filed for the fucking warrant, the other guy that filed for the warrant. I don't know if you can bring him up on that because he's not you could sue him civilly, I suppose, for wasting your fucking time, this citizen. I don't know, man. To me, it's not. It is sort of mental about the cities, but mostly it's about the physical environment, man. Everything is too tight. It stinks because you got all these dirty ass monkeys living in this tight space and shitting and pissing, and it's all going underneath the streets, man. Yeah, the particulate pollution. All the other kind of pollution, from plastics industries to rendering to steel, all three of those are in Columbus, and it's more physical than it is mental to me, right? Like, but then you get the noise, this fucking cacophony of the city in certain places, and then right, like you got freeways running through town, you got traffic on the street in front. Maybe you're unlucky and you live on a main artery, so it's always humming. Police helicopters, medical helicopters, jets coming in to land at the fucking airport. Noise pollution does definitely have a mental effect on you.
Oh, shit,
There's
I'm sorry.
just no doubt about that.
I'm back.
And those are all things that I can't stand. Over the years, I've grown to where I can't be around it, for more than a full shift. You know what I mean? Like,
Can you hear me?
It's just awful, man.
Can you hear me?
And then in the city, especially this one, because Columbus PD is corrupt as fuck, and they're criminals, man. So here's a good one. There were these, I think it was 5 of them, cops that were put on a cartel task force, and I guess they thought that Stone Vag actually is going to come in here. I'll give him. What do you think, man? Should I give him a chance? Yeah, I'll give him a chance. I'm going to finish talking about these cartel pigs. Okay, so these cops, they took it literally, and they became a cartel. They were taking drugs from the evidence room, from the evidence locker, and selling it on the streets. They were literally selling it on the streets and got busted selling the dope on the streets. It was unbelievable, man. And, I mean, there's a lot more than that, but that was a great one. Yeah, we'll hear him out. What's up, Kennedy? You're back, huh?
Hey, man. Yeah, sorry it took so long.
Yeah, I think we got a nonsense nozzle coming on here. This is Stoned Vag. You got about 5 seconds to make a fucking point.
We can't hear you. Are you talking?
Yeah, if you're talking, we can't hear you. All right, man. You ain't got your shit together. Bye.
Hold on. Dude.
Hello?
Okay, that was
Hello?
super loud. Oh, my goodness.
Hello?
I can hear you.
How about like a 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of just meow?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, that's good.
You can hear me?
Get the fuck out of here.
No,
I'm not
come
even
on.
going to enter.
Bro, come on. Let's hear his point. What?
Man, you can talk in your regular voice or you can get the fuck out of here, man, okay?
Let him talk however he wants.
Yeah, okay, freedom of speech. Talk however you want.
Well, hold on.
Make a fuck.
He
make a
doesn't
point.
have freedom of speech with us. We're not the government.
Well, that was his argument earlier. You missed it. It has not gone well between me and this guy. He starts off spewing nonsense. Here, I'll put it up.
No, just let's hear him. Let's just hear him.
Yeah, okay. You got something to say? Say it.
Hi. Do you respect the First Amendment?
Again with that. What did I just tell you about 5 minutes ago, man?
I didn't take an oath to the First Amendment.
No, well, surely we'll let you have your say, but make a point or get the fuck out of here. Seriously. Make a point, man.
Just hold on, Doc.
Do you like America?
I mean, which America? There's, 50 years
my
ago,
God.
we were fighting communists. Now we are communists. So which America are we talking about?
We talking about the theoretical one or the actual one?
The one that our founders founded.
Well, they're
Of course.
impressive people with ideas that were just they were really just a sign of their times, where the British were like, you got a wagon, huh? We're gonna search that then. And so when we made our country, we said no illegal searches or seizures, which means you need a warrant, right? A warrant.
Is the First Amendment outdated?
It's a
Not even remote.
It's a God-given and inalienable right. So
No, the First Amendment is the most legitimate amendment, man. That's why it's the First Amendment. And then the Second Amendment is the Second Amendment because you have to have a way to protect the First Amendment, right?
So if the First Amendment is legitimate, then should we respect every person's ideas?
No, you're talking about two different things, man. That's what I tried to explain earlier when I was ranting and raving. Listening to an idea and respecting it is two completely different things. The First Amendment only guarantees the right of being heard. That's all. That's all it guarantees, but that's not in a private setting. That's in public. Okay?
So should we lock people in cages for their beliefs?
probably
Wow,
not.
you're making all kind of extraordinary leaps, man. No.
Probably not.
The answer is no.
In
You know,
fact,
not
I would say
respecting-
that would be considered terrorism, when you press your beliefs at the barrel of a gun, that's
Sure.
radical. That's radicalism, or it's terrorism.
Should every citizen be allowed to speak? Should every American be allowed to speak?
Sure. Why not, man? Listen, if you could teach a fucking dog how to talk, I'd hear him out. I'd hear him out, man. I would. I'd want to know what the dog had to say.
It's one of the
Okay.
benefits. It's one of the benefits about dogs that they don't speak, because no one can trick them into anything.
That's right. Nobody can convince them into doing something that's, against their nature. Right? Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man, everybody should have a right to be heard in public.
Okay.
Or
I
whatever.
just wanted to make sure that when you guys are talking about legal and lawful,
We don't talk that way. That would be a word game, a word argument. Semantics is what it's called. So we don't get into that.
We don't do semantics, man. We don't do theoretical or we don't postulate. We're all about rule of law, which is the supremacy clause, and the Constitution. The supremacy clause, man, guarantees that our rights
I'll be right
can
back.
are never ever not protected. Okay? And that makes them the law of the land. The Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Articles of Federation, everything that's in the Constitution is the law. Nothing else is law.
I just want to have my rights respected.
I think everybody wants that for sure, man.
I don't want to be blocked or not have my chance to express my beliefs because somebody doesn't like my beliefs.
Well, okay, I'm not the government. This is not a governmental interaction. So, when
I like to smoke weed.
Oh yeah. I don't have any problem with that, man. I do the same.
Some people have a problem with that.
Yeah, well, I have a problem with them taking Valiums and drinking martinis.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm
one,
back.
One addict pointing at another addict and calling him an addict, it doesn't work for me. Plus, smoking pot, if it's addictive, why aren't the wild animals eating it?
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, can
I
you
also
tell me?
like to make fun of people and call them Jewtastic and all this crazy stuff that people don't like.
Well, like in a private setting, your First Amendment doesn't really mean a lot for the most part. You witness YouTube, man. They censor everybody that has anything to say of any kind of.
But they don't censor me.
Well,
Yeah,
I
well-
disagree with reducing someone to what their religion is, or, bro, as a Christian myself, what I believe in is truth, way, and life. So if you're not talking the truth, if you're not talking about our way, if we're not talking about enhancing for everyone, then what are we talking about?
YouTube does not censor me.
Well,
I get
good
to
for
say
you.
whatever I want on YouTube.
Yeah, good for you.
On my
Good for
channel.
you. All right.
Are
do we
you
have any-
saying things that are like objectable then?
No, it's true. I get to say whatever I want to say. I can
Yeah,
say
well,
anything.
Yeah,
Anything.
We're gonna verify that. We'll verify that.
Well,
Step-
no,
F3.
I'm sure
F3,
you're probably
find,
right.
Fix, and finish.
You're probably right.
F3, find, fix, and finish. You've heard of me. I'm the stoned vag.
Sorry, man. I hate to burst your bubble, but I've never heard of you. No,
You've
offense.
never heard of find, fix, and finish? Stoned vag?
Nope, never heard of you. Listen, man, if you got a point to make, let's get to it because I don't have
I
time
like-
for this.
2,200 followers right now. I'm huge. I'm massive.
Okay, all right, man. Listen, it's been nice having you on, dude. But
Okay, thank you for having me up.
get to something substantive or
No, I just wanted to make sure you respected the First Amendment because I get to say whatever I want on my channel.
well, of course you do. Everybody does. Whether they're going to let anybody hear it or see it is another question.
I mean,
You know,
people
that's
come
a
through.
whole
Like,
other
I have hundreds of people in my live chats all the time. All the time.
Awesome. Well, pimp us out, man. Show us some love.
I will. Thank you again for having me up, and I will try to come visit with you.
Absolutely, man. Next time, bring some meat.
All right, later, fellas.
Yep. Bye. That was kind of strange, man. Strange fella. But you know what? I don't want to meet somebody that's normal. Fuck normal. We're not normal. You know, nobody here is normal. What's normal? Normal is what these people want us to become. They want us to become these automatons that just go to work and shovel money on them. These people that we're talking about, man, that's all they want. They just want us to do our jobs and give them all the money they need and more than they actually need.
Did he make some sort of point while I was gone, or?
No, he made no points. He was inflammatory. He said this, and then I ranted and raved for about looks like almost 10 minutes.
I didn't take an oath to the First Amendment.
Yeah, he didn't. Right. Well, you know, I tried to explain that to him in a private setting, which YouTube is technically it's a corporate forum, but it's also semi-public. There needs to be
Open
a
to the public. It falls under the 1964 Civil Rights Act. It's open to the public.
It is a public forum.
Yeah.
In other words,
it's open to the public. I mean, that's what defines it. It is open to the public.
Yeah, and according to the First Amendment, since it's a public forum, they cannot be censoring and slowing down somebody's progress on here just because of their message. They can't do it. It's illegal. We need to bring a suit against fucking Google, man.
Yeah, they're breaking the law for sure.
Yeah, like, why is there no lawyer taking this up, man?
It's not Google anymore, is it? I thought they...
Well, it doesn't matter. Whoever the fuck is running YouTube. Yeah, whoever the fuck is running YouTube, they got more money than, you can even fucking believe. So, I don't know, man. They need to be sued. If it's technically a public forum and legally a public forum, which is what it is.
Well, did you hear about Susan Wojcicki?
No,
She died. Apparently. I don't know. I'm just saying what I saw in a video. I don't know.
Susan, how do you spell her name?
It's like Polish or something. Founder of CEO of YouTube.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Just type that in. Susan, CEO of YouTube. Type that in.
I do know now. But listen, man, here's what I got on that. Some of these CEOs, they're able to steal so much money that they can disappear, right? Like, and even fake their deaths and shit and just go, right? Like, there was this dude, I can't remember his name. He was the CEO of, man, what is the fucking name of that big ass company that was into the fracking? I can't remember. Anyway, he apparently died in a car crash in the middle of nowhere out west somewhere, on one of them lonely ass stretches of highway, but his body was burned beyond recognition. Okay? So basically they got the VIN number of the car somehow, and it was registered to him, so they assumed that it was him that was in there. Right? Like,
yeah, the VIN's on like 5 places on a car.
Yeah.
It's on the door. It's on the on the inside of the windshield, on the dash.
Yep.
It's on the motor.
Yep. There's even some towards the back of the car. I know that there are more than there used to be. But anyway, my point is, I believe that the guy faked it. Like he got some homeless guy drunk as fuck and then was like, here, whatever. However the hell you manage something like that. I don't even know, because I don't sit around thinking about doing this kind of shit. But I think that's what he did, and he just, changed his identity. It can be done. And that especially when you have $1 billion in the bank, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
buy the chief of police and you have him set it up so
Yeah,
that all the
exactly.
documents are right for you.
Yep, get some known drunk to drive your
No,
truck.
they'll provide a John Doe or something. That's
Oh
not a
yeah, they'll
problem.
go out. They'll go out and create one or steal one from the morgue.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, man. Look, that's about all I got for today, fellas. That Stone Vag was kind of exhausting.
Well, you know what? Let's talk about him real quick. When you talk like him, you are really opening yourself up to being like tricked in every way. Okay? When I talk, I hope that people realize what's going on. It's that I'm citing laws that fall under Article 6, the Supremacy Clause, so that those laws there can't possibly be some policy that overrides the laws that I cite, because it's the law of the land, and all judges are bound to the law of the land. They're not bound to case precedent. They're not bound to policy. They will convict you on this stupid crap. And that's why you need to object. You know, when they stand up in court and they're like, well, under Terry v. Ohio, this cop had a right to fucking do anything he wanted. And then you object because that's not a law, right? The law is the Fourth Amendment. There's a requirement of a warrant.
Yeah.
You know, when you talk like I talk, you can't end up like, what was he? Dusty Vag or something?
Stoned Vag.
Stoned Vag. Well, good for him. You know, it's in Genesis 1:29. So go ahead and be stoned. But you know what is also in the Bible is to be sober. I mean, guys, don't you see me all the time where I'm like making points and like, yeah, why is that? It's because I'm not out of my mind stoned, or, I mean,
Right. Yeah.
Dude,
Yep.
it's like you got to get better at thinking. You got to get better at talking. Guy, I have people showing up in my channel being like, here's one of the recent comments. I can't believe you have comments enabled. Can't you tell we're all laughing at you? And it's like, dude, you don't have a point. No one else does either. Go ahead and find the best point and bring it to me.
Right. Yeah. Make a point. Don't just come with some nonsense.
It's like Stone Vag. The reason that his life is nonsense and it's going to continue to be gibberish is that he doesn't think that he needs to like establish any reality. You know, he thinks that it's just, haha, is this a funny voice? Which personally, I think that's lowbrow. I think that's toilet humor, essentially.
It's lowbrow. Yeah, it's toilet humor. Yeah, it's lowbrow. It's childish, but you know, hey, whatever. You know, I don't change my voice at all.
It's extremely common, though. I mean, think about how.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
I have people like this. Now, I was highlighted by like 3 or 4 troll channels. Oh, and by the way, guys, I'm not gonna check you for using my content. I didn't even check these retards. It's good that people can have some sort of like basis. I mean, bro, start understanding actual laws.
There's no such thing as bad publicity. No bad publicity, man. You know, and somebody, maybe a percentage of that crowd that watches it'll be like, man, you know what? Kennedy's got a fucking point.
Yeah.
So they watch your videos.
Bro, I ask them what if they have an argument. No one can produce one. They'll just make claims like, oh, no. Cops determine probable cause. I got this one guy right now. He keeps commenting. He's just like, oh, no. Cops can determine probable cause and just pull you over. It's a stop. No, buddy. It's a seizure.
Yeah.
And it's banned in the Fourth Amendment.
Well, I have a pretty good example of exactly what the fuck you're talking about in a circumstance with a buddy of mine. He lives in Arkansas, and they moved and bought this other property. And while they're selling the other property, he has a couple of trucks over there that were broke down, and he was like, fuck them. Anyway, some meth heads came and tried to steal his truck, and one of his old neighbors called him and said, look, man, you better get over here. These motherfuckers are just trying to steal your truck. They brought a trailer and spare tires to put on the truck so they could roll it out of there and steal it. And they rolled it like halfway in the road by the time the sheriff got there. And the sheriffs, they told the guys that were trying to steal the truck that you're lucky this guy doesn't want to press charges and all this other bull. So they lied to him, and then they lied to the dude whose truck it was, my buddy.
I got activity at my door.
All
Why
right,
don't you finish your story, and I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, all right, man. Okay, so basically, the cops told the meth heads who were trying to steal this truck, you're lucky this guy ain't going to press charges. Then they told my buddy, there's nothing we can really do. And he's, so they didn't want to have to fuck with it at all. They didn't want to have to do anything. So all these times that these cops grab somebody out of the car and beat them up and throw them in jail for not wearing a fucking seatbelt, how many meth heads getting caught, cut loose, getting caught in the act does it take to make up for one person who gets beat up for not wearing a seatbelt? How many meth heads get cut loose for every single? How does that work? How is the law so unevenly applied? Right? Like, I can't really do anything. Yeah. Nah, he ain't. It's not pigs. It's somebody else. Look, I don't know. This could take a while, man. So I think that I'm just going to wrap this up. I don't really have a whole lot more for today. I pretty much said what I had to say. Yeah, hard times, man. Hard times for a motherfucker right now. But it's not just me. It's everybody. So either you're rich or you ain't. And if you ain't rich, you're in trouble. That's just how it works. Welcome to predatory capitalism. I'm not anti-capitalist. I think capitalism is good. However, it can't be allowed to become predatory. Competitive, yes, it should remain competitive, but it should never be predatory. No price gouging, no price fixing. Smart regulations, not just anything. Okay, here's Kennedy. He's back. Listen, man.
What is a smart Okay, you got to go.
Well, a smart regulation would be, an assembled freight train should only have so many cars on it.
So what it is that a train company is going to have agreements with their local jurisdictions that they're going through and stuff like that are going to need to outline things like this. This is going to be in contract law. It's going to be under contract where they have to follow shit like this. And these things that they always want to impose on us, they always don't apply to us. They just, bro, like, for instance, you go into the courthouse and it says no filming. Who does that apply to? Can't be you. You have a First Amendment right to freedom of press. This is your property. But does it apply to someone? Yeah. Who? The employees.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Masks
exactly.
required. Who does that apply to? Not you. The employees.
And we're not the employees, man. That's just a fact. Some people will argue that we are, but they're not looking at the supremacy clause. Nowhere in the Constitution does it say that we're beholden to the government. It's the exact opposite of that. The exact opposite of that. Everybody thinks that, oh, well, we're employees because we're owned by the state. No, we're not. No, we're not. They can say that we're owned, but I can say that I own Donald Trump's yacht. That don't make it true.
How can you be owned by servants? Even the president
right, exactly.
is a servant.
It doesn't make any kind of logical sense at all.
Well, it doesn't need to, because people are lining up by the droves to vote for Trump right now. And why?
Well,
he doesn't stand for conservatism.
No, he's
just
a lefty,
released
man.
like a 20-point plan, bro, he's going to be the next Hitler. There's no doubt about it. He's not a conservative at all. Every fucking point on his list was like bigger government, more regulations, more. Dude, he's a fucking disgusting puke, and all these people are going to line up for it. They're all going to go for it.
Yep. Well, I've said it before. I'll say it again. When our grandfathers went over there and our great-grandfathers to fight that fucking war against the Nazis, man, yeah, they killed the dragon, but then they brought the eggs home and hatched them.
Well, the whole thing was a Nazi plot here.
Sure,
Nazi
it was.
means National Socialism. It's a German shorthand for National Socialism.
Yep.
So that's
Project
exactly.
Paper.
It's exactly
Paperclip.
what all this government-funded military is socialism.
Yeah,
and then
it's
that's moving everything to the left, I guess, on the screen.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So in Vietnam, they were like, "We're killing communists." No. You're building leftism in America, right? Guys, what's up with the draft? First off, it's involuntary servitude. What is that? 13th Amendment violation.
Yep.
Next off, it's some fucking religious bullshit. It has nothing to do with your representatives being like, "Oh, my people really care about going to war in Afghanistan." No, has nothing to do with that. Duh. See, and people like stoned fucking vag over here, they'll never get to stuff like that because they're too busy being so silly. And why are they so darn silly? It's so that they don't have to be real men. To tell you the absolute truth,
it's a defense it's a defense mechanism, man. It's a defense mechanism, and it's nonsense. And it doesn't serve anybody. It doesn't serve him, and it doesn't serve his subs in any kind of way. But, whatever. People cannot get enough of nonsense.
I'll bet people do follow him. They love gibberish. They'll listen to it all day long.
Well, think about Jerry Springer and Geraldo and all them other fucking shows where they drag Americans in there and prove how stupid they are on national TV, and everybody loves that shit, man. Loves it.
And yet, every single time someone gets in the comment section, they want to pretend like there's some geniuses somewhere that have something all figured out. Oh, the Supreme Court said this. Bro, I didn't say the Supreme Court could read. Why are they a source at all? Like, what? Bro, most of the Supreme Court are a bunch of criminals.
Well, yeah, they're all criminals, man. They have been for a century.
They always have been, as far as I know. It's like,
right.
Bro, we have laws so that you can do what's covered under the law and you don't have to worry. But guess what? Now we're in a situation where, like mine, bro, they don't have any mushrooms, but they're accusing me of possession of mushrooms. So how do I defend myself? I mean, I'm guilty until I've even been accused of a crime. Why do I even have to answer to this crap?
Well, man, once you establish that they don't have any proof and they have no reason at all, had no reason, you have grounds for a 242 for
the whole
sure,
thing,
man.
Is just treason and
deprivation
of rights under color of law, conspiracy against rights. It's all extortion. Yep. It's a
242.
You
should file it, man.
It's
you should file it as a 242.
Under the sun, from official oppression, and these cops over here are thinking that they can just disrupt my
do whatever
business.
They want.
I place them under arrest under the state law, citizen's arrest. They all took oaths to it. Bro, you wouldn't believe how many people say that. Oh, they didn't go to jail, did they? As if it's a point against me. Yeah, but I'm the one that proved that every oath taker is a fucking oath breaker. Military traitors. Fuck the goddamn military. They just want to them after they're dead. That's all the fuck they want. Literally, they want me to pay for their house. They want me to pay for their car. That's all the fuck they want. Thank you for your service. It's America that's the problem. Thank you for your service. You know what kind of a person says that? The type of person that's going to hell. Straight up. Thank you for your service. What service are you fucking talking about?
Right. Yeah,
I'm so glad you went to Afghanistan to fight for my rights. Shut the fuck up, stone douche.
They went to Afghanistan because they had weapons systems they wanted to test, man. Same thing in Vietnam. It was all about testing weapons. Well, who can we go blow up?
All we know is it had nothing to do with us. It had nothing to do with any lawful reason.
And what?
Same
listen,
with Iraq. Same with Iraq.
What? But
Same with
also,
all of them.
Check this out, man. We invade Afghanistan, and like a year later, right, like there's record amounts of heroin on the streets of America. And guess what they grow in fucking Afghanistan? Poppies. They grow opium in Afghanistan. So what did we send our military over there to do? Take control of the fucking drugs.
Do we even need a reason since we didn't have a declaration of war?
Right, yeah.
It's factually crime. You know what? The best thing we could do with Afghanistan vets? That's stolen valor, by the way. You fucking pig puke. You have no valor. I swear to God, man, you show me one Ameritard that's honored his oath. I swear to God. Dude, you show me one fucking Ameritard that's honored that oath. There aren't any. Guys, I've arrested 30 cops or judges or prosecutors under state law. Where are the oath keepers? They are nowhere. There aren't any oath keepers.
None to be found.
You know how you can tell a fucking dirtball? They've taken an oath in the first place. The Bible says no oaths. No oaths. Why is that? It doesn't work.
Right, because
honestly, your oath is just some sort of protection racket so you can kids. That's honestly all it is. And that's all the military is. That's all the fucking cops are. That's all the prosecutors are. The judges, they're all the goddamn same. All the entire Congress. Basically every law they make is null and void and illegal. What a bunch of goddamn traitors. My fucking Christ, they ought to have their fucking doors kicked in the middle of the night and their family dragged out to the road. Just kill them all. And then round up their friends and family for giving aid and comfort. Because that's the truth. That's the honest to God truth. So if you fucking come up to me and tell me you're an oath keeper, I swear to God, I want you fucking dead. I swear to God. Well, we better jump off of here before I fucking let all the rest of the socialists, like the fucking teachers. Hey teachers, it's your fault that every person is as dumb as stoned fucking whatever douchebag or whatever his name is. It's your fault that everyone's that stupid. So should I be paying for your house? No. Get a fucking job. Get a job, you piece of shit. Fucking teachers. All socialists. It's all of them. And medical, third leading cause of death in America is medical malpractice. And I got some Canadian, some retardadian over here telling me about how doctors, lawyers, and judges are the legitimate jobs. My God. What?
Yeah, the legitimate jobs are people that build things. Carpenters, brick masons, guys that work in manufacturing and distribution, the people that work in retail. All those public servants
real
can
Americans
fuck off. Yeah, real Americans who really work. They don't just sit on their asses and collaborate to commit crimes against us, against every single American. Generations of Americans have been victims of these kind of fucking people, man. And, you know, there's a reason that smart people hate fucking school because they know it's pointless. It's pointless. It's almost all of it's nonsense. The only thing you can count on in school is math. Math. That's it. You know, algebra. That's facts. That's logic. You can't change that into some socialist bullshit unless you start adding words. So, that's it, man. That's it. All right, look, man, it was a good show when we came off the cuff with nothing. No, not really. I mean, all we really had was your motion, so it wasn't bad. All right, man, listen, let's wrap it up. Thanks for coming, guys, and I'll see you on the other side, Kennedy.
For sure, Jeff. Thanks, guys.